Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So today I'm house sitting and I thought this was an excellent opportunity for me to get some video recording in. So I think the first thing I want to address today is atheists and their cultural attacks in what they say. Well, atheists, agnostics, and many of the people like them go round about in society stating where you are born is likely where your religion will be. And I always baffled me about that because, I mean, yes, I was raised Catholic. Yes, I've been Catholic most of my life. But, regime, I'm now Muslim. So this concept that you're religiously always going to retain the religion you were born to, if you are religious, is a oxymoron, a misnomer in social economics, especially much of the fallacy of the atheist argument when it comes towards holding pharmaceutical conversation where society is bound just solely on your culture and religion are entirely entwined. And I was watching Peterson and Yusuf, Sheikh Yusuf's interview recently. I'll put a link in the bio. Fantastic interview. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Brilliant video. But it baffles me that atheists have this kind of conception because we live in such an etheristical society where you are like a vapor. You can travel if you are educated enough to any part of the world, relatively free to do so. Maybe that's a white people point of view. I should probably think about that. Relatively speaking, without too many barriers, most people around the world with enough influence, money and education can travel. Alhamdulillah. But there are exceptions and I'm not ignoring those exceptions. But you've got to understand the idea that we, in modern argumentative capacities when it comes towards atheists, are only part of the religion from where our culture grew up is arrogant, incredibly misconceptional as well, because my culture is Brittonic, Irish, Catholic, missionary, very Western. I grew up in the amongst the urban blight that is London. I did the same things many young 80s, 90s Londoners did. I won't go into the sordid detail of my clubbing times, but it isn't unsurprising that much of what it means by agnostics and atheists to say that you are who your culture and where your culture religion comes from is where you will always be until you are awoken to atheism. The idea that it's some great awakening moving into atheism is very misconceptional, especially when it comes towards the lack of argument in atheism to draw this beautiful creation, this gravitationally perfect universe. Because remember, the universe itself is gravitationally perfectly set for life to exist. I think people don't actually realize that. We're not talking just the Milky Way. The gravity of the galaxy, the universe as we understand it, is perfectly balanced for life to form. And that in upon itself is a miracle. And yet atheists would have you believe that we came from nothing, there's been a big explosion, that nothingness created all forms of life, worlds, structures, gas giants, etc., across the cosmos of the world, the universe. And it baffles me, it really does. I don't understand this atheistical concept that religion is only a cultural construct of the previous unenlightened minds, as if there were no atheists in the previous ages, as if there were no disbelievers in the previous ages. I mean, I was on one of Scotty Lum's lives last night, and especially involving the Muslim quiz, and a very critical point was the three people that enter the hellfire first. The martyr, who fought with his body solely for the benefit of his own glory instead of Allah's glory. The scholar, who always wanted to eat first and be remembered in the hereafter and have good things named after him, he will go into the hellfire. And the rich man, who gave charity solely so people could benefitably say he was a charitable man, a great man after he comes afterwards. And these 3 men are the first 3 men into the hellfire. But I'm absolutely certain that hypocrites and those blind to the truth are going to be hot on their tails. Because in essence, that can only be the only realistical point of view. Because I can't buy that this universe was built, created, this perfectly balanced in both gravity, in both dimension, in both physical existence of life, came from randomness. It doesn't make sense to me. And I don't know how anybody can actually hold that as a graphical point of argument. That this universe, that this galaxy, that this star system, we live in something called a life zone, which is in perfect balance to our star, that's in perfect balance towards its galaxy, and the galaxy is in perfect balance towards its universe. And these perfect balances all came around randomly. I don't think atheists understand the concept of true randomization or chaos upon theory mathematics to truly understand what random is. And the idea that this is all an accident is just baffling to me, especially when it comes towards the arguments that your culture is dictated towards your religion, and they are both inexcusably abilities, and civilized people in the future will not believe in God. Well, I'm a highly educated historian who is very much one of them God slaves. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for my small rant. It baffles me, and I'd like to hear your thoughts if you've got to this end. Put your thoughts in the comment section on anything that you'd like me to comment on or communicate on or give you my opinion on. And I will do my best to interact. I always love the opportunity to be able to see who on YouTube wants to hear my thoughts. And I would happily open any topic on this YouTube within the genre capacity of both Islam and history. All right, I steer very, very clear from social justice, and much of it's disgustingness. But it's been a pleasure having you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.